Welcome and good morning. My name is Peter Lawrence, Manager of Education and Training at Medical Alert Foundation Canada. And I also manage our police partnership program, Connect Protect. I wish to acknowledge everyone in attendance from Barrie Police Service, Simcoe Muskoka Catholic District School Board, Alzheimer's Society Simcoe County, our Medical Alert subscribers, and any parents or other community members. When I first joined Medical Alert in 2006, I was excited because I wanted to work for an organization that helped people. I, like many others, only thought of Medical Alert as the organization that provides identification products engraved with medical conditions. I know now it's much more than that. Among other things, Medical Alert provides peace of mind to family members, knowing that first responders can access their loved ones' critical information at time of need. There are many themes you'll be hearing from our speakers today. The importance of having the Medical Alert service, the ability for police to have access to a Medical Alert subscriber's information when every second counts, and the importance of having community support organizations, all in efforts to protect our most vulnerable. At this time, I'd like to invite our President and CEO, Leslie McGill, to say a few words.
Thanks, Peter. I am so excited to be here today. This is a launch that has been some time in the making, decidedly so because of COVID. We've had a lot of focus and emphasis with our police partners, making sure that they stay safe during the time of COVID. So we're thrilled today as we hopefully are coming out of this fourth wave and getting back to what might be the new normal to welcome the Barrie Police Service to Connect Protect. It is such an important program for us here at Medical Alert to be working with the police as part of our first responder family. We could not do what we do without you. And we have a particular soft spot for Barrie because we have so many subscribers in your region and a great support from that subscriber community. And so this is a time and an opportunity for us to come together and talk a little bit more to the community about the value and the importance of our work with police services in the work that you do in helping people stay safe, especially at a time of health emergency. And that can cover anything from a heart attack to a mental health crisis, to Alzheimer's and dementia and wandering. There's so many things that impact people on a day-to-day basis. And we are so excited to be able to launch in Barrie today, officially. So I don't want to take up too much time here on the platform. There are so many more important people to speak here today. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce a couple of people who aren't able to join us today, but who are here in spirit. And they are the chair and the vice chair of our Police Connect Protect Advisory Committee. And so Peter, without further ado, if you are able to roll our video. Thank you.
Greetings from our nation's capital. I am Acting Superintendent Rob Barrie from the Ottawa Police. The Ottawa Police Service proudly became partners with the Medical Alert and Connect Protect program in the fall of 2017. As we, along with so many other police services, were looking for solutions to the shortfalls around an all-inclusive vulnerable persons registry. Medical Alert became that solution. Medical Alert has evolved their program beyond their already well-known and established traditional Medical Alert bracelet program. When one of our community's most vulnerable are in the need of help, the police are the ones who are most often called to respond. Members in our community living with the various forms of dementia, including Alzheimer's, living with autism, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, acquired brain injury, or so many other cognitive disorders, unfortunately find themselves in situations by no fault of their own, where they need our help given their vulnerable state. Whether they have wandered off and can't find their way home, found disoriented by a Good Samaritan, in crisis at home, school, care facility, or in public, where it has gone beyond the means of the family or caregiver to manage, the police are called to respond. The reality in many of these cases, it is a very stressful and emotional time for the person making the call to police, which sometimes inhibits the ability for the call taker to obtain some very critical information that will help the responding officers best resolve the situation. When I talk about critical information, I'm referring to current physical description, wandering history, places the person is attracted to or likes to go, historical information, and sometimes as simple as access to a current picture. But it's more than just this. It can be critical information that will help de-escalate a situation, such as triggers that may escalate the behavior of the person, factors that will calm the person, topics of interest to that person, or something as simple as what name he or she likes to be called. It is so important to have access to this information as soon as possible so that we can best handle the situation in the best interest of that vulnerable person. Medical Alert has provided our police services with this proactive tool to better serve our community's most vulnerable. Any police agency across Canada partnered with Medical Alert can now have direct access through a secure portal to their clients' critical information proactively at the intake of the call for help, which in turn equips our responding officers with the best information to best help this vulnerable person in their time of need. It truly supports our community safety and well-being plans, aligns with our duty to care, and promotes public trust. It is as simple as the caller when calling police stating the person is registered with Medical Alert, or our call taker asking the complainant if the person is registered, or in the case of the Good Samaritan or police officer finding a disoriented person, looking for the bracelet or the ID tags. And this lines us up with accessing some key information that we may need to best resolve the situation. I'm truly honored to have been chosen as the chair of the Medical Alert Police Advisory Committee, as Medical Alert is committed to working very closely with all their police partners. This committee was formed so that we can play a part in the evolution and continued improvement of this program. I, along with Vice Chair Elaine Fowler from Peel Regional Police and all other police services across Canada partnered with Medical Alert, would like to extend a warm welcome to the Barrie Police Service. We look forward to meeting all of you at one of our next committee meetings. Be safe and take care.
Hi, my name is Elaine Fowler. I'm the Sergeant of Emergency Management with the Peel Regional Police. Our organization has been in partnership with Medic Alert since November 2017. Our area in emergency management assists with vulnerable missing person searches in the region of Peel. This would include the City of Brampton and the City of Mississauga. Having you being part of Medic Alert gives the police the essential information we need to keep your loved ones safe. This information has the potential to save time and resources, but more importantly, to save lives and to reunite you with your loved ones.
Now at this time, I'd like to invite Chief Greenwood of Barrie Police Service to say a few words.
Good morning, and thank you to everybody that has joined us virtually to help recognize this very important partnership. And a very special thank you to Medical Alert for organizing today's event. While we would have liked to meet in person to gather and mark this collaboration, it is important and wonderful that we're still able to connect virtually. Our service and our members are very proud of the relationships that we have fostered within the community that we serve. And we are and have been a proud partner of Medical Alert for a number of years. As police officers, we deal with a variety of emergency situations every day. And in some cases, having access to critical information, such as the information available through Medical Alert, can be critical in helping to resolve situation where a person's health or life may be at risk. With the launch of Connect Protect in Barrie, our officers are able to quickly access critical information when in an emergency situation. It allows officers to work without barriers in providing care and assistance in the course of their duties. When we look at Medical Alert identifications and IDs and the resources that are available through Connect Protect, this can help if someone is experiencing a medical issue. However, it can also quickly provide invaluable information in relation to people who are prone to wander or go missing, such as those who suffer from dementia-related illnesses. When a loved one is missing, family members can take comfort in knowing that members of the Barrie Police Service have additional ability to quickly access critical information relating to the missing person that could potentially assist in bringing them home safe. A medical alert subscriber record holds important information, such as physical description and a photograph, as we've already heard through the message from the chair and vice chair. Also, if a person has been reported missing before, a location where they were previously found can be included in the record. This information can be critical when literally every second, every minute counts, and will provide police with potentially a starting point or a location to be considered when commencing a formal search. The medical alert subscriber's record can also provide information on how to approach those loved ones that have gone missing or wandering, and can document de-escalation techniques that are important to know when communicating with the prescriber when located. This collaborative approach is truly a win-win situation for our community and our police service. The Barrie Police Service is very proud to be part of the Connect Protect network. We appreciate the partnership and look forward to serving our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Greenwood. I now have the pleasure to introduce Jane, who is a longtime Medical Alert subscriber. We often talk about the theory of Medical Alert and how it works, but I'm excited for Jane to share her very impactful story. Jane.
Hi, I'm Jane Foster. I'm a retired pharmacist. I've type 1 diabetic for 63 years. I bought my first Medical Alert bracelet when I entered university because I never carried a purse or a wallet or anything. So I needed some sort of idea in case something happened to me and there was no one around to speak for me. I didn't actually need the bracelet until 10 years later when I was 24 weeks pregnant and an oil tanker rolled over my car. I woke up, I didn't know where I was, I couldn't move, and I heard voices. And I guess they were in trying to feel my pulse and found my Medical Alert bracelet. And I heard them say, "Oh, she's diabetic." And I thought, oh, maybe they should know I'm pregnant. So I told them I was pregnant. I immediately got oxygen on my face. But they knew from that point that, I mean, at that point, you took 1 dose of insulin in the morning, and then if you didn't eat during the day, you were in big trouble. It's not like now when you take doses, every time you eat. I had 1 dose in the morning, and then that was it. So for them to know I was diabetic and pregnant, I think really, I mean, it saved my life and probably saved my baby's life too, because they immediately gave me the extra oxygen so that I could, I managed to, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't had it, but I'm always glad I had it. They got the emergency people there and looked after me, and my baby was fine, which was very thankful. And, in my career as a pharmacist, I always had the Medical Alert pamphlets in my pharmacy. And if I spoke to anyone who was diabetic or, a young person with some sort of condition, I always push the Medical Alert because it speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself, which is just really valuable.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for being an advocate for Medical Alert over the years. Really appreciate it. Our last speaker, Laura Barasa, Manager of Education and Support Programs at Alzheimer's Society, Simcoe County, was kind enough to say a few words today. There's always a starting point when someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. and it's necessary to seek support where available. Laura?
Thank you. At the Alzheimer's Society here in Simcoe County, it's our goal to see people living with dementia and their care partners live well and live safely in their communities for as long as they are able. And we know that a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease or related dementia affects everyone differently, but most people experience a loss of memory, a loss of judgment and reasoning abilities, changes to their ability to communicate, and changes to their mood and personality. And while all of these symptoms occur gradually, they can really pose a risk to a person's ability to live safely. And it's a fact that 60% of people with dementia-related memory problems become lost at some point in their disease progression. So for many people, we've heard some stories here already today. Many getting lost happens without warning. Familiar surroundings may suddenly become strange to them. They can become disoriented and be unable to problem solve and orient themselves to find a way home. Becoming lost isn't just distressing for them, it can also be very dangerous. So we know that half of the people with dementia who go missing for 24 hours end up either seriously injured or dead. This is why it's so important that we talk about these risks, the risks associated with dementia, how we can reduce those risks, and the need to have a plan in place in case there is an incident. That's the type of services and support that the Alzheimer's Society provides to people who are living with this diagnosis. We talk about strategies, and there isn't just one strategy alone that can reduce somebody's risk for going missing. And persons living with dementia and their care partners should consider several different strategies to help minimize the chance of getting lost in their community. This includes things like reducing triggers around the home, using GPS or FM frequency locating devices, using walking buddies, establishing routines. All of these things can become part of a person's living safely toolkit. And a big part of that toolkit is what we refer to as the Blue Emblem Medical Alert ID for dementia. And we call it Blue Emblem because the ink on the bracelet is blue to highlight an alert that the person who's wearing that bracelet has a disease that affects their memory. This really is a key component in helping a person with dementia live safely and independently in their community for a period of time. You've heard today just the amount of information that's contained in a person's record when they become a subscriber to Medical Alert. So they have the current description, recent photo, the places they go. And what's key for us in supporting people with dementia is that identification of potential triggers and those strategies that can help de-escalate a person once they are found. You know, having somebody use their preferred name or the name of a friend or family that they trust can really help establish rapport with that person who's lost and maybe a little bit nervous and worried and scared, and really bring comfort to them. So those are key pieces of that person's record. And we've heard just the value of Connect Protect. You know, police are able to quickly access that valuable information, enabling them to have more time to spend searching for the person versus searching for that information. And we've heard time is precious when looking for someone who is lost. Earlier, I mentioned that going missing can be distressing. So it can be distressing not only for the person who is lost, but also for family members who are looking for them. And these types of situations, when emotions, fear, and even panic may be running high, it can be hard to think about and communicate all of that vital information, right? So you've heard from the police services today how important it is to have quick access to that. And from the family side, knowing that a person is registered with the Blue Emblem Medical Alert ID for dementia, and that police will have instant access to that record, it can really take some of the stress off their plate and provide some peace of mind that, you know, all of those important details have been covered and shared with the people who will need to know them. Supporting a person with dementia to live safely requires a real balance between their need for independence and minimizing potential risks to their safety. And the strategies that are implemented will change as a person's disease progresses. The Blue Emblem Medical Alert ID for dementia is a simple, unobtrusive step people can easily implement to help in this area. It is something that is highly recognizable in the public, and is something that we encourage at the Alzheimer's Society for members of the public to look for if they come across somebody who appears lost and confused. So we are so pleased that the Barrie Police and Medical Alert have entered into this partnership that will result in quicker access to that vital information and potentially reduce the stress and distress of these situations for all involved. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing that insightful information. To wrap up, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you to all the speakers. Leslie, of course, Chief Greenwood, really appreciate it. Laura and Jane, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I have to extend my thanks to Rob and Elaine for that Welcome to Connect Protect video message. If any organizations or schools require more information about Connect Protect, you can contact me by sending your inquiries to the email on the screen. And I will be sharing a digital information sheet about the Connect Protect partnership to Barrie Police, Alzheimer's Society, and school boards. And I encourage you to tell people you know about the importance of Medical Alert, keeping people safe. Hope everyone has a great afternoon, and thank you once again.
Thank you again to everybody for joining us today, and welcome to the Barrie Police Service.